Hey, this is Mccrackins on location in Mccrackins Corner with Nick Cox. How you doing today, Nick?
Good, Ed. How are you, buddy?
I can't complain. I can't complain. When you got into music, when did you start doing that?
I started playing music like about 11, 12.
11, 12?
I think it was 10, and I was into Kiss Alive. That was my first album. My brother worked at a record store. And he'd bring home all these records. He'd bring home Kiss albums and Queen albums. And I would sit there and I would listen to these, Heart, and I would sit there and listen to these records. And I would pretend like I was playing, and I really got this passion, this love for music. And then when that was like 10, 11, then when I was 12, we had this old guitar sitting around the house. It had 2 strings on it, and my brother taught me Smoke on the Water, and I would just play Smoke on the Water with the one string over and over again. And then I begged and pleaded.
What kind of guitar is that has 2 strings on it?
It was just an acoustic. It was an acoustic that didn't have the other.
Oh, it was just missing?
Yeah.
I thought it was just some special guitar.
It was missing the other
strings
4.
for dummies. I don't know.
No, it was missing the other 4.
Oh.
I would borrow guitars because I was 6th grade, 7th, 8th. That time I would borrow guitars, acoustic guitars, from friends that I knew that have them and use them.
Did you take a class in music?
Never took any lessons. I would always I got a little. I think it was Mel Bay, little book. Anyone that knew how to play, I would absorb the information from them. Like, oh, you know this D chord? Show me that D chord. Show me that D chord. Show me Over the Hills and Far Away from
Really?
Zeppelin.
So you did it all by yourself, self-learning?
Yeah, I did it all by myself. I was blessed with being able to have a fairly decent ear, These days, it's so easy. I mean, can do the same now, but I just go to YouTube. I can YouTube anything.
Right, this is back in the day.
And I can see it, and then I go, okay, I know where you're at, and then I'll take it from there. But, it was just sitting there for hours learning, and I would just practice for hours. Man, I started to learn chords, and then it was basic Beatles songs, I'll Stairway to Heaven. My buddy Kevin O'Leary, rest his soul. He would take me, one of my best friends, he would take my guitar away from me, playing the damn song all the time. That's enough! Then I learned A minor, which was like Babe, I'm Leaving You. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave. Babe, I'm Leaving You from Led Zeppelin. It was just acoustic songs.
So you were into rock then, right? Acoustic
rock? I was into anything. I was into rock, but I was into anything that I could play that had the acoustic guitar at the time. I didn't get an acoustic, my own acoustic. I was always borrowing until I was 8th grade, a freshman. And then it wasn't until I was a junior that my parents finally realized that, hey, this guy's learning how to play guitar. And then they got me my first guitar, which I still play today.
Really? What was it?
It's a Gibson Memphis, and it was yellow cream with gold hardware, and it's a Gibson copy, and it's my brown guitar that I use now. Oh, it just took all the paint off of it, and it was a great piece of wood.
Well, it's like a love child.
Well, it's sentimental, yeah. All my guitars are sentimental. One my mom got me. The second one, the white one that I have, my sister got me. And then the one that I have, the gray Silvermaster Gibson, is one that Rich bought me for being in the band for so long. I think it was the 20-something year mark, and he always knew I had my eye on this guitar. And one winter day, he says, "Oh yeah, look in that case, man. Open it up, and it's the guitar." He goes, "No, it's yours, man." Very
fortunate to have a family that was encouraging you to move forward with your musical ambitions.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know if they encouraged me, but they didn't discourage me.
Well, by buying your guitars, I would think.
Well, no, this is true. They did. Yeah. You're right. And then, they did. You're right. They did buy the guitar for me, and they encouraged me to play. And I would always just learn. I was always learning stuff.
That's interesting. You learned on your own without taking a class. It's the first time I ever talked to somebody who did that. But that's interesting. And then, so when was the first time you played and learned the songs that you actually went out in public, or maybe a small group of friends or family that you performed for?
And we got this band called Cry Wolf together, and they were original. We played all original tunes, and we played a bar on Higgins and Menard. It's not even there now. And it's the first time we made a flyer, and they had a flyer, Cry Wolf, and we're on the flyer.
What kind of music was it?
It was kind of like just rock. It wasn't metal, it was just rock. It was good, because Pete came from the Boston Styx Triumph, so did I, and so it was just rock,
Very interesting.
Like and and then I love, my passion is heavy, hard music, hard rock,
To this day, or no, it's changed?
To this day, to this day. I mean, I like to play any kind of music, really. It's good, but my heart is in hard rock. Like, I'm like Dio guy, Iron Maiden, Racer X. Not that I
Sweet.
can play. You know, I like that. And I was in a 3-piece band called Fourth Horizon, and then it was just a power trio, and it was all original. And all we would do is go into these bars and we would just jam. You know, we'd find open mics, and we would go in there and we would just play and play. And we did that. The biggest gig we ever did was the Gateway Theater. That's when they were playing the Gateway, like in about '90.
Mm-hmm.
And then within that time, because I was with Pete Cry Wolf, he had left and he joined a band. The reason that band broke up is he went into a band called Theater, and he started being in the scene. And I didn't. I was in the sub scene. I wasn't like the cool bars. You know, it was just an iron rail and stuff like that. And I did that, and it wasn't until Pete lost his guitar player in the Theater, one of them, and he asked me to join. That's when I started doing the Whale and Jackhammers and the Avalon. And I got into the scene in a band called Theater with Pete. So he brought me up into the scene.
And all during that time, did you play the same guitar?
I did until I got into Theater. And in Theater, because we were with 2 guitar players with, you know, the tremolo and the rammy. I was never in another band with another guitar player, and I had tuning issues with that guitar. So Bob Irvine, who was the guitar player in Theater, he had another beautiful Hamer guitar, and he sold it to me for $800. I used that guitar for a really long time until back to Seventh Heaven. I used it in Seventh Heaven. I did one of these flip things, you know, because I was cool, and it came off. I didn't have strap lock, and it hit the neck, and it broke.
No.
And then I took the guitars into a guitar shop. It's always been a great piece of wood, and they put all new hardware on it, and it stayed in tune. It's one of my best guitars.
So you got it repaired.
Got it repaired, and it stays in tune beautifully.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. That's Pat. Pat and Jimmy had Good Time Music, by the way. Over there. It wasn't until Theater we did a lot of oohs and ahs, like ooh and ah and ah. That's when it was Thirsty Whale. Rich saw me in I think it was '90. He was in Seventh Heaven because he's only been in one band, Seventh Heaven. Yeah. And he goes, I'd like to get that guy. He's got great vocals. It wasn't until I was in a band with Seventh Heaven that we actually started doing vocal lines, and I would do harmonies. And then it wasn't later in Seventh Heaven where we do the medleys. He's like, why don't you sing? I was like, well, that's a concept. So I actually started to sing full songs when I was.
Let me ask you, when you went out to sing full songs the first time, did you have the butterflies, or do you have?
Oh man, I still have butterflies.
Do you? When you go out?
Yeah. The day I stop having butterflies, I'm probably gonna worry.
So when you go out on stage,
I'm nervous right now. I got a little, because we got a show in a little bit here. I'm so, I'm like, I gotta. I do,
So it's not like you're just going to your office in the morning, I'm on the stage, hey, how's it going? And
some shows are better than others, Wow, I did not expect this show to be 8,000 people. I'm thinking it might be a park district or something. So I never know. I mean, usually when there's less people, I'm a little less nervous. When there's more people,
get a little bit challenging, maybe.
Yeah.
A little challenging.
Hopefully I remember lyrics,
I was just going to ask you.
No, my voice is perfect and amazing, always. It's kind of effortless. And,
yeah, me too.
I don't even know what happened to that. I'm like, la. I don't warm up or nothing.
No?
No, it's a crapshoot because I actually don't warm up. I tried. They have, no, so there's no rhyme or reason. I have asthma. I've maintained my breathing with the medicines that they give me, inhalers, and I maintain it. And my voice in the last year has been marvelous. I was singing Your Love, and nothing came out. And the good thing about Seventh Heaven fans is that
they thought it was a battery in a microphone.
They thought it was the battery. No, I would go like, what? Somebody, and they think that the mic was going on. No, I lost it, and they sang. Crowd sang. Huh? They didn't even care. They're so loyal, and they've seen us so many times, and they know what we do and what we bring, that they were so forgiving. I really do anything special for my voice.
Do you write music?
I don't write music. I've written a handful, maybe 4 songs in my life. I've never been that formulated writing guy. That's always been other people that, usually I'm not a writer.
Richard Hoofer with he's the pick ninja is what I call him. And I also noticed that over the years you've gotten pretty good with throwing the picks yourself, bouncing them off into cups and whatnot, and it's pretty interesting.
That kind of stuff is, I stole all that stuff, and I'm a huge Butch Walker fan, and he amazed me when, grabbing a cymbal or bouncing picks off his guitar, throwing it up, flipping them behind your back. I always thought it was really cool. I was like, wow.
Especially when you're successful at it.
He's like, I mean, I drop them all the time. I miss them all the time. But when you catch them,
that's right.
It's amazing.
Those are the ones I remember.
People are like, oh my God, he is like a wizard.
Did you play any other instruments other than the guitar?
Well, I play the bass. which is in a couple of Mark songs I'll play bass, and in Beautiful Life I play bass. I play some piano, and enough to just get laid, then it's funny. No, to get by, and that is about it, really. Just that. And my brother's a drummer. I don't know how I can work with my hands. I'm really great on tables and stuff. I can't do a kick. I can't do that to save my life. So.
And then you do some extracurricular stuff, like you teach lessons.
I do. I give guitar lessons, real basic. Same kind of stuff that I'd like to do when I was talking about being 12, 11. Just somebody to show me. I want to show kids what I was looking for. Somebody to show me that. That's just a little patience, chords. What's some of your favorite artists? All right, let's try to learn that. Let's go for that.
It's really nice that you give back to the kids too, because they're going to be our next generation playing for us when
they are. Yeah,
well, I don't play at all, so when you can't do it anymore.
Well, I just want to spark their interest, and then they can go off and be a Dave Urick if they want.
And then you also do acoustic. You do acoustic from time to time, nightclubs and.
I do, yeah. Acoustics and the unplugged. I love the unplugged. I love. It's all good, but I like to strip it down and just play stuff that I feel like playing, and come and enjoy some music. If you don't like it, then you don't have to come.
So you heard him. You got to come and enjoy some music with Nick Cox. See him at Seventh Heaven. Learn how to play the guitar.
You don't have to.
What a stand-up guy. What an admirable individual. Nick, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming to McCrackins Corner.
Yeah.
McCrackin' out!